Hi, I'm Helen, and this is a new episode of 5 Curly Career Questions, the video/podcast for women at a career junction. And today I am talking with Alison Carter. Hello, Alison.
Hi, Helen.
It's lovely to see you. Now, your professional background is in the retail space, and you started out as a fashion buyer, and then you moved into senior management, and that was at mainly John Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now you work as a freelance retail consultant alongside your work as the coach for life's tough stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, get my words out.
Yeah.
Life's tough stuff being those who have experienced a loss, maybe going through grief or after cancer. And you are also a motivational speaker.
Yep.
Awesome, love it. Okay, so 5 Curly Career Questions. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm really ready for this.
Okay, cool. All right. So, your first question.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about a time when you've experienced a career junction or transition, or a time where you felt stuck.
Okay. So, I think probably one of the biggest career changes, first big career changes I made was when I left Selfridges and went to John Lewis, and I was about 28 at the time. And I had the most amazing job at Selfridges. I was buying for the women's designer room. So I was doing, exactly. People were like, wow, you've got the best job on the planet. I was going to Milan, Paris, New York. I was buying Givenchy. I was buying the most beautiful clothes. It was an amazing job. It was a very stressful job, but it was an amazing job. But I could see that I was thinking about, well, but what are my next steps going to be? And certainly at that time, it was quite you were kind of, well, from there you could go and maybe do the same job at Harrods or the same job at Harvey Nichols. I thought, I'm not sure that's actually what I want the rest of my career to be. Okay. So I saw an advert in Draper's Record, which is kind of, the retail fashion industry magazine, for a job at John Lewis, which I applied for and got. And I moved there to be a buyer of ladies swimwear and nightwear. Exactly, ladies swimwear and nightwear. And the reason I went was because John Lewis, at the time, Selfridges only had one store, but John Lewis had multiple stores, and also it had something that in fashion we called own brand. So you develop products with a designer. You don't just go into a showroom and buy amazing products. So it was two skills I really didn't have, that I knew John Lewis would give me the opportunity to do that and move me to a different customer base. So people thought I was mad for making this choice to leave this amazing job and then go and buy ladies' nightwear and swimwear. But actually, it was one of the best decisions I made. So yeah, it was scary and people thought I was crazy, but it was a really good decision.
Cool. Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Okay. So as we go through our careers, our priorities change. What was important to us once is less important. So in what one way have your priorities changed?
So a big change for me was actually the decision to go self-employed. So it was a decision that was kind of made for me because I was made redundant, which was really, really hard. I absolutely loved working at John Lewis. And so after 23 years, it was really tough, and there's a really big identity change there. But I had sort of 3 years before that had breast cancer. And so it was kind of, do you know what, actually, this is a golden opportunity. And I knew that I was uncomfortable with the amount of stress in my life, and that actually did I want to explore other things and do things differently. So my priority now absolutely is around flexibility and my health, my physical, mental, emotional health. So whilst it's a very different lifestyle, being self-employed brings with its own challenges, which you will well know. Actually, I'm prioritizing my health, because actually when you go through something like cancer, you realize, you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything.
Yeah, super important. Wow,
absolutely.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, cool, thank you. Okay, third question. What are a couple of key resources or maybe pieces of advice that you've had along the way that stick with you?
Okay. So there's kind of business ones and there are personal ones, I think. So I mean, a couple of business ones was so what I remember years ago, actually, as a buyer, being one of my suppliers saying, "Sales are vanity, profit is sanity." That really stuck with me. And actually, yeah, it's really because great sales, but actually, if you haven't got good cash flow, if you're not making profit, you can be done. So that having that commercial head with whatever you do really, I find really helps. And then there's something about another piece of advice was something about gut instinct. Now, this when I was a buyer, you get a real gut feel for a product. And when you know your customer and you would look at products, you'd be designing products and you go, yeah, I know that's right. I know that's going to be a big seller. And you kind of learn to trust your gut. But then it's the same in business and in life. And it's like, with situations, with people. And often we can not really listen to our gut. But usually that's a deep-rooted instinct that's born of experience. So it's almost like a powerful sixth sense we have. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, trusting your gut. Yeah.
It's just that is so important. I think I totally agree with you. And if I think about times when I haven't gone with my gut instinct, it hasn't been good. It's not been the right outcome for me, and for whatever reason I refuse to listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes, particularly if we are in a business environment, a corporate environment, it might be we're very, we'll know the values, the expectations of us, so that we can sometimes switch off our gut feel because we're so wedded to that. But actually, the gut feel's really important. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. All right. So I hate, loathe, and detest coriander. So this next question is about that sense of hate, loathing, and detesting something. So in a professional setting, what is your coriander equivalent?
Oh wow! I mean, God. I think for me, it's probably kind of but I don't mean politics as in left wing, right wing, but the politics of organisations, of companies, and the amount of energy, time, mental energy that we waste on this stuff, and it can be really, really toxic as well. So it's something that I've just get really repelled by, and particularly actually after I had cancer and went back to work. And John Lewis were amazing; they were brilliant support. But I would go, and I had just had this new lens now, and I was just like, God, so much of this is just, it doesn't matter. We don't need to be spending our time and our energy on this, So yeah, kind of the politics, the loudest voice in the room, having the most power, that kind of thing. I think it's also a midlife thing as well. You just go, I'm just done with this.
Yeah. No, I totally hear you. Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you know, I lived in New Zealand for quite a long time, and in Māori culture there is a concept of a koha, which is kind of like a gift. So if you were to give a koha to somebody experiencing a career transition at the moment, or maybe feeling a bit stuck, what would that koha be?
I love that concept, by the way, and I love New Zealand too. So I'm very envious you having lived there. I think there's something. This is something that I found quite empowering when I'm working with my clients in coaching at the moment as well, actually, because I think it helps a lot with fear. Holds us back. We can be very afraid of change and of doing something that we can't undo, and are we capable of all these things? So, well, and this is something that sort of a gift I would give my old self as well, is that most decisions aren't forever decisions, but make a decision and move forward. And even if it turns out to be a decision that doesn't take you somewhere you want it to be, well, you've learned from it. you know,
Mm.
have that learning mindset. I think as we were saying the other day, you know, well, just it's all data. Just think of it, well, I've learned from this, and I can move on with it. So apart from, you know, some big life decisions like, you know, maybe having children or whatever, most things most things are not forever decisions.
Yeah.
And I think that can just take some of the overwhelmingness of making big decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my
Yeah.
gift.
That fear. That's a really cool gift. Yeah. That fear just paralyzes us from moving forward often.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. That's the end of your 5 curly career questions, but you do
Mm,
have a mystery question. So
okay.
this concept I borrowed from Stephen Bartlett and his
Hmm.
podcast. So a
Yeah,
previous guest has left a question for you, so you will leave a question for somebody for the next one as
yeah,
well. Are you ready for your mystery question?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been your most embarrassing professional moment?
Oh wow. Goodness. I think well, when one of my favourite jobs that I ever had was being a lingerie buyer. I absolutely love buying lingerie. It's a wonderful industry. The product's amazing, and had a lot of fun. And one of the things that we really focused on at the time was designing bras for large cup sizes, because I mean now the choice is amazing, but I'm going back 20 years, and there wasn't such a great choice. Um, and on one trip to Hong Kong, I was there with my designer Sarah, and we were having this real challenge getting this large cup size bra to fit well. Now, in the fashion industry, you have things called fit models that will be like a standard, you know, the standard size 12 or whatever, that you do all the technical fitting on. Now, I'm a double D cup. So we went to Hong Kong. They're all probably this one. So like, well, do you know what? And I said, I'll try the bra on. So our suppliers were being just wonderfully discreet and diplomatic. But there I am in this office with this double D bra on, and Sarah, my designer, was wetting herself for this whole situation. And I've got about 3 or 4 technicians sort of all hovering around my boobs, just going, oh yes, yep, we need to do this. It was just like, oh God, you know. And I just thought, if our customers could see what went into designing this bra, they just wouldn't believe it. So yeah, it was funny, but really quite embarrassing. But you know, the things you'll do for sales and profit, eh?
Exactly. Think about that. Oh, thank you. That's brilliant. I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been a star. Thank you so much. It's been
Oh,
lovely to
thanks,
talk
Helen.
to you
I've
and
really
hear your
enjoyed it.
answers. Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.